What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy. We got some absolutely crazy stuff happening here today. Take a look here. Republican Congressman George Santos was in custody here on 13 federal charges here today. Yeah, pretty serious. Take a look here. Take a listen here.
Well, there's several things ahead for him, but we can tell you that freshman Congressman George Santos, he did turn himself here into the federal courthouse here in Islip, New York. We believe he went in through an underground garage because we were not allowed in that area to see him, but court officials did let us know that he is now in custody. And as you point out, he is facing these charges. The indictment was returned yesterday by a federal grand jury here in Islip. It's a 13-count indictment, including charges of fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and false statements. Today's hearing is at 1 p.m. this afternoon, as he's expected to plead not guilty. Some local representatives here are hoping that he will just resign. Anna?
And Ken, this is a lengthy indictment, so let's dig deeper into these 13 counts. Walk us through what exactly we know about these charges and the investigation.
So as the U.S. attorney put it, Santos is accused of using political contributions to line his pockets. He's also accused of unlawfully applying for unemployment benefits that should have gone to New Yorkers who lost their jobs due to the pandemic. And he's accused of lying to the House of Representatives. So this indictment includes 7 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of money laundering, and 1 count of theft of public funds. And specifically, Santos is charged with defrauding campaign funders by using political contributions to fund his lavish lifestyle. As part of that, he's accused of telling certain contributors that they could give large sums of money that went beyond campaign donation limits. He's also charged with defrauding the COVID unemployment program in New York, receiving nearly $25,000 in benefits he wasn't entitled to. And he's charged with making false statements on the financial disclosure reports listing his sources of income that he's required to file as a member of Congress. He's actually accused of listing $750,000 in income he did not receive. I've never seen that before, and I think that suggests we have not seen the last of charges, because he also loaned his campaign a lot of money. That is not mentioned in this indictment.
Yeah, and this is the guy who everybody has kind of been at him because he's defrauded so many things here. His own voters have been calling for him to resign. Here's what he had to say here today after he was out on a $500,000 bond. Take a listen here.
We have an indictment. We have the information that the government wants to come after me on, and I'm going to comply. I've been complying throughout this entire process. I have no desire not to comply at this point. They've been gracious in there. Now I'm going to have to go and fight to defend myself. The reality is it's a witch hunt, because it makes no sense that in 4 months, 5 months, I'm indicted. You have Joe Biden's entire family receiving deposits from nine family members receiving money from foreign destinations into their bank accounts. It's been years of exposing. A lot of you here have reported on them, and yet no investigation is launched into them. I'm going to fight. I'm getting back to that. I'm going to fight my battle. I'm going to deliver. I'm going to fight the witch hunt. I'm going to take care of clearing my name, and I look forward to doing that.
Congressman, did you take any unemployment?
Hold on.
What do you say to that?
I would like the opportunity for some of you guys to ask some questions in an orderly fashion, and we'll start right here. Go ahead, Rachel.
Why would you apply for unemployment benefits when you had a job making $120,000 a year?
Rachel, this is part of my defense. This is inaccurate information, and I will get to clear my name on this. During the pandemic, it wasn't very clear. I don't understand where the government's getting their information, but I will present my facts.
Prosecutors say that you got over $20,000 in unemployment benefits, sir. How is that acceptable?
Ma'am, like I said, my employment was changed during the time. I don't understand where the government's coming from. I'll present my defense.
And one last follow-up.
What evidence do you have that they don't have? Because it's extensive.
I have plenty of evidence that we will now be sharing with the government in this case to make sure that I can defend myself.
Congressman.
Are you planning on running for re-election?
Yes, I am.
Do you think why should anybody believe you now?
Well, like I said, I will prove myself innocent, and then we'll move from there.
Congressman, did you take
a very far time away?
Congressman, did you take?
I'm sorry for blocking the $750,000. They said that you reported that wrongly. Do you have any comment to that?
Well, like I said, I will be giving them all, will be delivering all the finances of my company. I'm delivering all my finances to them to dispel their accusation against me.
And again, you will not resign.
I will not resign.
Congressman, did you take campaign donations and use that money to buy expensive suits?
No, I did not.
Do you think you'll win re-election?
That's not up for me to know. Elections are very tricky, and it's up to the people. I trust them to decide what's best for them.
Congressman admitted to lying in the past. What do you think will make people believe you this time around?
Well, look, like I said, I've asked many times. I want to be judged by the work I do in the body, and I stay committed to that.
Yeah, so a lot of things going on here. Santos sponsored bill on C-19 unemployment fraud, which is now one of the charges he is facing. Yikes. Yikes. Money laundering and wire fraud charges, a whole host of charges here. Of course, this is the guy who lied about his entire background, what college he went to, the businesses that he was with, who he worked for, and then later admitted to lying to these things here, or at least some of them, and then said, oh, well, I'm going to be truthful when I go to work at Congress for the people that I represent, and is still refusing to resign, and says he's going to run for re-election too. So, you guys can let me know your thoughts on the comments on this guy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Even after he's admitted to lying on some of this stuff, he's just going to keep at it. So, yeah. We'll see what happens here. I'll keep you up to date here. Next up, if you watched my video yesterday about the millions of dollars that California is potentially going to be paying here to millions of people, you could see the headline here. California Governor Newsom declines to back the reparations checks, saying that slavery's legacy is more than cash payments. Governor Gavin Newsom pledges to advance systemic changes after Reparations Task Force backs payments of up to $1.2 million per person, as it has passed one step of the process that passed here just over the weekend, and is in the process of this, and could cost California up to $800 billion in reparations from the state of California. Almost $1 trillion, which California does not have $1 trillion to pay, and would be completely groundbreaking to pay something like this of this magnitude, and then would set a somewhat precedence. Would other states have to pay this? And for a whole host of things, going back to slavery. And there were so many interesting comments of that video. If you didn't get to see it here, I'll link you to that video. So California was actually a free state and didn't even condone slavery. And I actually had to actually look that up. I got that from some comments. But there was some slavery that happened in California. And again, you have to go back and kind of look this stuff up, because again, this happened 200 years ago, or so. But, and obviously this isn't for anybody that's alive. These are like descendants of descendants of descendants of descendants. But then there's also some other stuff involved here with like people that have been wronged by policing and other things in there as well. And then you kind of wonder here if California does fully end up passing this all the way through the process, where are they going to come up with the money? Are other states going to have to do this as well? Because it's really not right if California does this, and do other states have to do this here as well? Me and my wife were talking about this literally for like hours last night, because it's insane. And then you got to kind of wonder, not that it's insane, but the process of like, well, what about the American Indians? What about all these other people who have kind of been wronged in their life by all the different things in life? There's so many you could come up with. yeah, and then we were talking about like the Holocaust and like World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, 9/11. Like there's so many things that like people could get reparations for that like maybe do they need to all get reparations? And like they're and like Governor who is it? Governor Gavin Newsom saying like it's not about the money, and like dude, they don't even have the money to pay this $800 billion. Because then if you pay this money out, what about the other people that have like been wronged about anything else in life? Are they going to get paid? There's so many things to kind of ponder about here. I'll link you to that video if you didn't see it from yesterday, because it kind of opens a Pandora's box about so many other people that need to be paid. The one that really stuck with me was the American Indians, who literally had their land taken from them in so many different ways here. Literally, people can't even really deny that, right? I'll link you to the video here after this. You got to see it. It's unbelievable, right? Also, the inflation report came out here today. Yeah, so inflation, the government tells us, still going down here a little bit at a time. Inflation rate eases to 4.9% here in April, less than expectations. Consumer price index rose 0.4% last month, pushed higher by rising shelter, used vehicle, and gas prices. The increase was in line on what was expected. On an annual basis, inflation rate over the last 12 months is now down to 4.9%, slightly less than the estimate. For workers, real average hourly earnings adjusted for inflation rose 0.1% for the month, but we're still down 0.5% from a year ago. And yeah, so inflation is coming down here, has been down for 10 months in a row. But households seem to be getting relief in some things, but does it feel like it? Does it feel like it? The Fed just rose interest rates here again, which is really causing a lot of pain for anybody with credit card interest rates, mortgages, car loans, and anybody going to apply for anything new, just raising the interest rates on pretty much everything. And you can let me know your thoughts here on this. But I'll keep you up to date here on everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. I'll link you to that video here. You got to watch it if you haven't yet. So make sure you subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos here. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. It's actually a great debate because it really kind of puts in perspective here. Can the government pay for the wrongdoings of our country and past people for everything that has ever happened in our country? Is there enough money to even pay for that? Or because literally the country would just, our dollar would be worthless. We would go broke instantly, as if we're not broke already. But imagine. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos. Here's that video you can watch about these potential millions of dollars of payments, billions of dollars in this video here. Or you can click here to watch my newest video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.